Welcome everybody to a Monday live lunch and learn. I've changed a bit of perspective here from what I've been doing recently. So instead of a conversation that counts, which is going to come up soon again, this is a 15-minute soundbite to help keep you focused and attentive on your journey and what you're busy doing perhaps, and just to even give you just a little bit of a break from your normal routine of what you're busy with and get a different perspective in play. And today, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 areas of strength for growth. Now, I shared this actually at the beginning of 2024, and now we're coming towards the end. I want to say to you all, let's reflect at what you've actually come through and how far you've actually gone without losing focus on the priorities of what you can still do to continue to strengthen yourself in the final few months of this year. Now, it's very easy to, hey, hi guys, it's very easy to lose track of what's important to you. Yeah, very easy to lose track of what's important to you, especially when you're under pressure. So if you're dealing with lots of deadlines and you're still trying to think of all these things that you've got to achieve in 2024, well, there's huge value in the growth of mindset and retaining consistent focus of what's important to you and understanding and having a look at how far you've actually come this year already. Because it's been said that we can overestimate of what's possible to achieve in a year and absolutely underestimate what you can achieve in 5. So when you focus so intently on what needs to get done, this is when you feel overwhelmed and feel like I'm running out of time. Stress and anxiety and poor life balance. Does anybody else here have these conversations? The time just seems to fly and I have so much to do. Well, we need to change your state of mind. So take these 5 points down and realize how often the simplest approach can actually be the best one. Frog in my throat. Live, you've got a choice here. Drink water or choke. So number 1, strengthen your mind. Create a new paradigm of thinking. As Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. So you need to reach outside of your circle of influence to receive information, guidance, support, in order for you to find what it is that you desire. If you knew everything you needed to know, then you would already be where you intended that you wanted to be, right? So you can't control this external world, but you can control your internal one. So this is the place to start. If you look back on the past 10 months, when did you learn the most? Is it when things were easy or when things were perceived to be the toughest? And when you realize that a growth mindset happens on the other side of the challenge, obstacle, problem, or the experience. And the paradigm shift comes when you realize that every problem is actually gift wrapped, although very tightly often, in a beautiful lesson. So in fact, the change of perspective of paradigm is that nothing actually goes wrong. There's never a mistake, because in every mistake or error, there is a lesson to learn as well. Number 2, strengthen your body, fitness and health. We all have set at some point those weight and exercise goals. Have you? But how often have you achieved and consistently maintained them? When your body and your mind goals are connected, this is when you have power. If they're diluted and is separate, you're losing out on massive potential significance, because they're 100% connected and require the same amount of attention and commitment. You cannot have a strong mind and a weak body, or a weak body and a strong mind. They go hand in hand. How you think is determined by your physical state, and your physical state is determined by how you think. So did you set fitness goals or health goals for this year? And if you go back to remembering when you set them, what drove you to achieving these? Or perhaps what sidetracked you? And if this happened, understanding you're not alone, this happens to most of us or many people, How did it make you feel? You see, you're far more capable than you believe you are. And to focus on the feeling state when you're not achieving something that you set out to, not the negative feeling, but the feeling state of what is infinitely possible if I actually stick to it. To make sure you've got a balance between that personal, your mind goals, and your fitness and your health goals. Number 3, strengthen your resolve. Now, what do I mean by this? Find a coach. If you want the best year of your life, then you need to reach out to someone outside of your circle of influence. Someone that's going to take you there. Someone that has your best interest at heart and is determined to help you get the results. This is about working with an accountability partner. Someone you can trust who is outside of the people that you know. And it's essential to maintain your progress that you require. Typically, when we speak to those within our influence, the people at work, be it that your boss, your spouse at home, or even friends, to get that true connection, it's not going to be theirs. They're not going to have your best interest necessarily at heart, understanding what it is that you're seeking. I remember when I left the corporate world in 2018, I had no clue to what it was that I was doing, where I was going, how I was going to get there. I just knew I needed to change, which is why I quit. I was done. But I knew I wanted to design my life. So I went on a journey of self-discovery. Over the years, over 4 years, in fact, I started 4 different businesses, and well, all 4 of them went bust. Some of them I took more money out than I'd actually put in. I had partners, but it wasn't the same. That was a journey over 4 years, and while it was absolutely amazing, I don't say I lost any money. I say it was my best university fees that I ever paid. And even on my LinkedIn, it says there, education, University of Life. But what took me 4 years to discover, I could have found out in 1, possibly less, if I'd cut a check for speed. In other words, found somebody that I could emulate, who could act as that true north, that star, that direction to help me get to what it is that I wanted. And that's what I'd say to you. So, yes, you can get to where you want to go, who you want to be, what you want to do. I did. I'm still on the journey now. And I've got 2 different coaches. I'm not going to make that mistake again. But it's a very lonely place. It's a very long and costly path to take. You can find someone who has already been where you are and is now living the life, has the results that you seek. Follow that journey. Number 4, strengthen your success. Set your top goals. If setting goals was actually a very simple process, then everyone would achieve exactly what they want, right? We all set goals at some point, whether personally, every January, what it is that I'll achieve, who I'll become for the year. But if it was easy, then we'd all be there, right? But yet it doesn't seem to be. So what are we missing? Goals are essential when we need to know the direction we're going. So here is what I've learned, 5 points for you that I've learned in my life of focusing on my personal goals and teaching about goal setting to corporates and individuals, people through networks, so on. The first one is the journey to attaining your goal is just as important as actually attaining it. Now, why is that so critical? Because in the end, if you don't attain that actual goal that you set out for, but you have a look at what you've achieved and how you've grown through the year, that can be just as powerful. Here's an example. Last year, I set out to become a triathlete. This is how also I created my GAP program, the Goal Activation Program, as part of my professional pointer. But anyway, and when I set out to become this triathlete, I set out all of these individual goals, smaller goals, in order to get to the big one. I'm going to come back to that. I never actually got to being a triathlete, but what I achieved in my fitness goals last year, as a result of aiming for that, was profound and more than I ever thought I was personally capable of. I ran multiple half marathons. I ran a full marathon, having never been a runner in my life. I always jogged, but this was not something I've ever done. And at all of that, nose breathing. That was a big challenge that I set for myself. So the journey of what I was actually busy with during this time created so much learning, so much understanding, and I realized how much more I'm capable of. So this year, I've just taken that goal and I've just put it on the shelf. I'm going to come back to it. Number 2, is it the specific result you want or how it'll make you feel by attaining it? We so often miss the feeling state. How I felt last year by running those marathons, by getting over that line after 42 kilometers of that full marathon with legs like jelly that I was trying to push a cooked piece of spaghetti across the line. But how I felt from achieving it just beat everything. Number 3, if you write it down, but you're too specific in exactly what you want the outcome to be, exactly how you're going to get there, you may be restricting yourself. There's a lot of people and years I also taught on this. SMART goals, be specific, but be careful about focusing on how you're going to get there. If you focus on how it's going to make you feel, it doesn't matter how you get to the end result. The universe, God, your creator, whoever you look to, may have a different direction or approach for you to get there and even better. So be careful about restricting yourself to what is infinitely possible. Where we are now, number 4. Focus on why you want this goal. Number 4. Focus on why you want this goal and ensure that it is aligned to your greatest values in life. If your goal you're looking for is not aligned to who you are, it'll stress you out. You're going to struggle to focus, you're going to procrastinate on it, and in the end, you'll just drop it and say, that was pointless. Why did I even bother? Number 5, amongst your top goal, find 1 or 2 that'll make the biggest difference in life. This is called your BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal, and will influence many of your other smaller goals. That BHAG came actually from this book, Jim Collins, Good to Great. In the past 10 months, have you added, have you added value to others? Strengthen how you service to others. In other words, pay it forward. What you're learning, share. You don't want to miss this one. It was the great Zig Ziglar who said, you can have everything in life that you want by helping enough other people get what they want. So find something that you have that others would value and share it. You can find a way to give back in service. You can find knowledge and information that you've had from your mess to turn into your message, no matter what your current situation, in order to help somebody get to where you got from your lessons quicker, more efficiently, or profitably perhaps, or even maybe just costing them less heartache, stress, pain, angst. So these are 5 things to strengthen, which will guide you to achieving your growth, your success, your abundance that you rightfully seek. And if you take these serious right now for the rest of 2024 and the last 2.5 months, watch how you're going to be catapulted. It's like a fast track into 2025. So please share and like, comment on this video. I'm here every Monday, the same time, 1 p.m. South African Central Time, just to have a little bit of a lunch and learn, bit of a perspective, a change of scenery for you. I hope you found value in it. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Ciao for now.